Mike Lynch here with the Barbecue Pit, UFC on ESPN Plus 35, aka UFC Vegas 10. I'm going to check the sound levels real quick, make sure we're all good. Yeah, we're good. Angela Hill being the first black woman to main event in a UFC event against Michelle Waterson. So that's pretty historical for this Saturday night. Billy Quarantillo starts the card against Kyle Nelson. Nelson's 13-3. He's been submitted once, TKO'd once. 9 out of 13 is wins via finish. 5 TKOs, 4 submissions, 1 and 2 in the UFC. His most recent fight being a TKO win over Polo Reyes, September. Good night. I love you. Where's Mello? Mello's outside. In September 2019, so almost a year ago, was his last fight. His 2 losses were to Diego Ferreira and then by TKO, and then the submission loss to Matt Sales. And that's pretty much his UFC career in a nutshell. Quarantillo's 14-2, 2-0 in the UFC. He's got a submission win over Jacob Kilburn, his last fight, or in his first fight, and then a TKO win or a decision win over Spike Carlisle in his most recent fight. He's only finished once, and that was by TKO back in 2016. He's 10 out of 14 of his wins via finish, 5 TKOs, 5 submissions. I think this is, the odds are a little swayed here. I believe, in my opinion, they got Quarantillo at minus 255. I think that's a little bit steep for this matchup. I think it's a little bit more even. I'd like to see a minus on both sides there, but it is what it is. I'm going to take Quarantillo, so, there's no point in betting. I think it's a really close fight, although I do think that Quarantillo's striking is going to give him the slight advantage in this fight. I'm going Quarantillo by decision. Ed Herman is finally going to fight 2 times where his fights got canceled. He's fighting Mike Rodriguez. 25-14-1 is Ed Herman. 13 out of 25 of his wins via submission, 7 by TKO. 6 submission losses, 3 TKO losses. He's on a 2-fight winning streak right now with a TKO win over Patrick Cummings and a decision win over Kaitis Agregdov. In November of 2019, he's black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, 6'2", 77-inch reach, where Mike Rodriguez is 6'2", as well, 82.5-inch reach, blue belt in Jiu-Jitsu. So he's got Herman's got a decent advantage on the ground if he gets it there, although Rodriguez has about, let's say, roughly a 5.5-inch reach advantage. So if he plays his game plan correctly, he could possibly keep him on the outside and stay away from a takedown long enough to land some big shots. 9 out of 11 of Rodriguez's wins via TKO. He's got 100% finish rate. So those other 2 were submission wins. His one loss, he has 1 loss by TKO, 1 loss by submission. He's 2-2-1 in the UFC, and his most recent fight was a knockout win over Marcin Preciado on August 22nd. So not but 2 weeks ago was his last win against Marcin Prieto, and that actually became a co-main event because Alonzo Menefield and OSP got postponed to the following week. So after his first co-main event, he comes back, come kind of towards the middle of the main card. Still going to be there. I got Mike Rodriguez via knockout, probably first, second round. If Ed Herman doesn't get him down, it's going to be a long night for Ed Herman. Kama Worthy versus Ottoman Azatar. Worthy is 16-6, 2-0 in the UFC. He got a knockout of Devontae Smith and a submission win over Luis Pena in his last fight. He has losses to Paul Feldner in 2012, Billy Quarantillo in 2015, and Kyle Nelson in 2017. All these fights were before he got to the UFC in his pre-UFC days. 5 out of 6 of his losses via TKO. He's 5'11", 74-inch reach. Whereas to Azatar is 5'8" with a 71-inch reach, decent size advantage going to Kama Worthy. Azatar is 12-0, 1-0 in the UFC with a TKO win over Timu Pakavan in September 2019. So again, it's been a year since he's fought. He has 8 wins via TKO and 2 by submission. So only 2 going to the judges' scorecards. That one, I think it's a lot closer than people make it out to be, but I got Kama Worthy. He came in, his debut in the UFC, took on some hard talent, Devontae Smith. And then they gave him Luis Pena, a great striker, and he handled that feat very well. So I think very highly of Kamal Worthy, however you say his name. And I think he gets the win there. I'm going to more than likely say a decision, possibly a submission win, though. Michelle Waterson versus Angela Hill. Of course, the main event, Hill. We talked about the first African-American woman to main event in the UFC. 16-0 in pro kickboxing, 12-8 in MMA. Never won by submission, never lost via TKO. She lost her most recent fight by split decision, Claudia Gadelha, which a lot of people seen to go to Angela Hill. And if she would have won that fight, she would currently be on a 4-fight winning streak. So I guess her confidence is still pretty high. She, in her mind, the Sean O'Malley mentality thing, could be on a 4-fight winning streak right now. Whereas to Waterson, not so much. She's black belt in karate, though. She's got great stand-up karate-wise. 0-1 pro kickboxing. So, kickboxing, karate, similar as far as they stand up. They use kicks. They do this, do that, but very, very different stances, very different techniques in throwing every strike that they throw. Obviously, we see Hill taking the advantage of kickboxing, Waterson taking the advantage in karate. Waterson is 17-8 MMA, 12 out of 17 of her wins via submission, I believe, or via finish. Sorry, 9 by submission, 3 by knockout. Only one TKO loss to Elaine Reed in 2009. She's currently on a 2-fight losing streak to a split decision to Carla Esparza in May 2020, and then a unanimous decision loss to Joanna back in October 2019. That's exactly how I see Angela Hill getting it done. I can see Angela Hill out kickboxing her to a decision win. Waterson obviously shown that she's developed great on the to amazing heights on the ground. She's got great submission game. I don't think that's going to be enough to get Angela Hill down and hold her down. And just the where they're at confidence-wise in their career, I think that Angela Hill is going to be able to take that. Women's MMA, you got to look at it a lot differently than men's MMA. Size, experience, all those things. Those things are kind of in the back. There's a lot of different things to look at when it comes to women's MMA. But I got Angela Hill in that fight. The rest of the card plays out: Roxanne Modafferi versus Andrea Lee, Matt Schnell versus Tyson Nam, Tagir Ulanbekov versus Bruno Augusto de Silva, Frank Camacho versus Brock Weaver is going to be a good fight. Brian Barberina versus Anthony Ivy should be a great fight. Roosevelt Roberts versus Matt Frivola, another good one. Alan Patrick versus Bobby Green, another good one. Sabina Mazo versus Justine Kitch, it's a decent one. Ciara Eubanks versus Julia Alvia is a great fight. So this card, from top to bottom, I believe is going to be amazing. I'm going to take a look really quick into what is for next week, and then we're going to preview the Contender Series, and then I'm going to go jump in the shower before the Contender Series starts, so that I can watch the Contender Series. Let's see. I think the 20th. They're coming back on the 19th. On the 19th, it's Woodley Covington. Cyril Gagne is coming back. Mackenzie Dern versus Ronda Marcos. That should be a great fight. I believe Kevin Holland and Darren Stewart is on this card. Yes, I'm right. Miguel Beza, Mickey Gall, Johnny Walker, Ryan Spann, Donald Cerrone, Nico Price. Is this fucking not a pay-per-view? Weird. This is a fucking another stacked card. So 2 weeks back to back, Shemaya versus Jero Mirasha. I just thought about that. 2 weeks back to back, we should have very good cards. Of course, barring any COVID injuries, this and that. They lose cards every week, so I would assume we're going to lose a couple. But hopefully we keep most of them, because there are 2 very stacked cards, and regardless if we lose a couple fights here and there, I think there's still going to be 2 very good cards. Dana White's Contender Series tonight. We have Tafan Nawazwiki versus Al Mataro. 3-0 for Nukwiki, 8-2 for Matado. Matado is a natural middleweight. Tafan is a natural light heavyweight, which is where the fight's going to be at. Tafan is number 1 in Virginia, number 59 in the United States. Matado is number 1 in Hawaii, number 66 in the United States. But again, Matado is ranked as a middleweight. Cameron Church, 4-0, number 8 in Nevada, number 196 in the United States, will be taking on Sherrod Blackridge, who is a natural 170-pounder who's fighting at lightweight. 4-0 in his career, number 7 in Nevada, number 283 in the United States. But again, these guys are ranked at different weight classes, so hard to match them up there. Phil Hawes, natural 185er, going against Kazmarat Bestayev, who is a natural 205er. Hawes, natural 185er. Fight's going to be at middleweight. Hawes 7-2. Bestayev 10-3. Bestayev number 17 in California, number 99 in the United States. Phil Hawes fought on the Bellator scene, so they don't rank him by state, but he is number 142 worldwide. Mano Martinez will be taking on Darko Rodriguez. Both guys naturally 135. His fight will be at 135. Martinez 6-1, same with Rodriguez. Rodriguez is number 2 in Iowa, number 76 in the United States, whereas Martinez is number 8 in Texas and number 70 in the United States. So very closely ranked guys there. I'm going to murder these last guys' names. Aleskab Rinsveb versus Henrique Shkiyamoto. Shkiyamoto is 13-3-1. His last fight being November 2019, and he's number 6 ranked in Japan. Rizvev is 12-0. His last fight was March of 2018, which took him out of all local rankings. So this guy's been out of fighting for well over 2 years now. Let's see what he's got when he comes in. First fight back, they're going to bring him into the Contender Series. You could definitely tell that Dana White's bringing in some talent to try to fill some cards here and there. Nothing against it. I think it's great that a lot of fighters getting their chance that normally wouldn't be in this situation. So I all the respect to Dana and what he's doing with the Contender Series. Of course, we know in about a couple of weeks' time we're going to be going back to Fight Island. There will be no Contender Series. We're going to pause it for a little bit at least. They'll come back in November, they say. But that's it, man. We'll be back next Tuesday to discuss, what do we say, Covington and Woodley. And for now, we're out. Everybody barbecue. Send me pictures of your barbecue. And see you guys next week. Appreciate it, man.